So all too often are we as DJs playing on tons of different setups: CDJs, Record Box, DJ Pro, Serato, Tractor.
1 hour later.
There's a ton of different softwares, a ton of different pieces of hardware. Don't even get me started on DJ controllers. Being able to, travel and play in a ton of different places all depends on how versed you are in all of these different setups. So not only do you have to be a really good DJ to be able to travel and play all over the place, but you have to be versed in multiple setups. If you're headlining music festivals, you probably don't have to worry about this as much. Even being a headliner, sometimes you want to pop in and DJ somewhere, some random little hole in the wall bar, and maybe that place only has, a limited setup. So looking at all these different scenarios, I'm trying to figure a way to combine the different programs that I use into one cohesive music library, as well as be able to sync that with an external hard drive or with a thumb drive to be able to play on CDJs by either Pioneer or Denon. Everybody's doing a good job so far at being able to read metadata, being able to read MP4s and MP3s, titles, track listings, and BPMs and things like that. A lot of that stuff is syncing nowadays across the board on a lot of these different platforms. The one thing that some of these softwares are struggling with is cue points. The fact that you can actually sync libraries now between softwares is huge. Denon Prime software allows you to sync your, Serato library into Denon, as well as your Record Box, I believe, now into Denon. But being able to import into Record Box from any other software, I'd had problems with in the past. And I found a piece of software that allows you to sync different libraries together that I think could be very useful. Let's check it out. Looking at my program screen, and I have DJ Conversion Utilities down here in the left-hand corner. This is the software that I downloaded in order to be able to bring in my Serato library into Record Box. So when I'm using this DJ Conversion Utility app, it's asking me to select the software that I'm converting from. And so what I'm converting from is Serato going into Record Box. And it has other programs here that you could select going into, Record Box or the software of your choice. But for me, it's Serato. When I do that, it pulls up a screen that gives me some information about some known bug fixes. And this is just regarding metadata, XML tracks that are already in Record Box collection. So it won't import cues, loops, grids, other metadata already in Record Box. It says the bug can be circumvented, and there's a video actually down here if you click on it that takes you to a YouTube. I'll put that in a link in the description below so you could check that out. So after importing my library into Record Box, it's great because it pulls all of my music up. So everything that I've had inside of Serato pulls straight into Record Box, and I'm able to load any of this stuff in here and DJ it out. The one thing that I do have to adjust, like I said before, is the cue points. Some of the cue points on some of the records didn't load correctly. But the other thing was playlists. So right now I don't have any playlists inside of Record Box, but if I go down to my Serato library or my imports, this Record Box XML is where my imports will live. And from there, I can see all of my different crates. So all of these different crates / playlists are the different crates from Record Box. And you could see the tracks, they'll load up. They'll give you your first cue point usually. And some of the other cue points do load. You just have to load the track in first. And I think that's one of the things that they were addressing in that video. Like I said, I'll link that in the description below. But in order to get these playlists to show up in your playlist, what you have to do is actually create a playlist and copy that playlist. So if I want this chill vibes playlist to show up in my, record box properly, what I'll have to do is copy this playlist to a playlist in record box. And it's going to ask me, do I want to load the information and the tag from libraries being imported, beat grid. You can load that in and it'll lock out against analyzing. Either one, you could reanalyze those tracks, which is probably better because then it'll probably work properly in your program. But you have to do that for each crate if you want to have your crates set up almost the same way as in Serato. So I haven't found a workaround yet for importing the Serato library exactly how it was. So you get everything, you get your crates, but you do have to move some certain things and you do have to recreate some of the metadata that didn't come over. Those are kind of the downsides. But if you want a program that moves your entire library and syncs it directly across the board, I think this DJ conversion tool is probably one of the best bets that you can get out there right now. Hopefully that helps some of you guys out there. If you have a tool that you are using that you think is a great tool that we can utilize as DJs in order to sync all of our libraries together, put it in the comments below. Let me know. I would love to check it out. Again, right now I'm using the iTunes library to store most of my music in my music folder, and then syncing that across the board as far as DJ softwares. That way it lives in one place. But in the past, I've used external hard drives. I've used cloud-based storage and different things like that. I still use Dropbox for my Denons, where I just started using BeatSource for a lot of streaming. We'll see how that goes. But out of all these tools, there should be a way for us to, combine everything library-wise and be able to open any of these softwares and use them cohesively. And I think with pieces of software like this DJ conversion tool app and other softwares that people are making out there, we are working towards this unified library. But yeah, that's going to be it for Music Gear Monday. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We will be back next week. Shout out to everybody that I caught at South by Southwest, and shout out to our sponsors for sponsoring this video. Shout out to our sponsors today, Crate Connect Digital Record Pool, providing tons of new music, new releases, hundreds of different genres and chart-topping hits, everything and anything, instrumentals, acapellas, Latin, moombahton, techno, dance hall, even country music. So if you're a DJ and you want to spruce up your music library, this is a great tool to utilize. The price is just right with different options from 30 days, 90 days, and 180 days with high resolution audio. This is a great option for anybody wanting to expand their DJ library. They even have a clothing shop. This one's my favorite. Make sure to hop on over, check out Crate Connect. I will be putting a link in the description below, which will include a discounted price. So make sure to hop on that while it lasts. I'm Carl Carell. We'll catch you guys here next week. Peace.